Hey guys, Giter 92 here. So I thought I was just gonna do a different kind of video today. As you may notice, my I'm not live streaming on StreamYard, and and there's a reason for that. Because I was thinking that I really don't want to go through, doing. There was some kind of first of all, there was some kind of static problem in my first video, and a lot of people couldn't hear, including myself. I cannot hear what I'm saying in it. So I thought that I would actually do it very simple and just uh, redo it in this way. But I thought, like, I don't want to sit on a stream and do the same thing over again. Um, so I just thought that I was going to do this video. So here you go. This is the first part of Ammo Angels. Welcome to Giter Talks, Ammo Angels. Yeah. Um, so I started Ammo Angels in 2006, I believe, and we were a couple of guys, and we were three guys. It was me, Simon, and Nils. I was the singer, and yeah, I was the singer, and I wrote the most of the songs myself. Yeah, the majority of the songs I wrote, and Simon was the bass player. Uh, he played bass, and Niels was the guitarist. And yeah, and how did we meet? Well, uh, I am. Well, first of all, I am autistic, and when you're autistic, if you don't have many friends, which was in my case, I didn't have many friends growing up, and when you don't, when you have that uh, problem, there is a way that you can apply to get a grown up that can, he is being paid uh, to be your friend, to take you wherever you go, and and the commune. This is a legal thing too. I just want to emphasize on that. This is a legal thing too, that you apply for, and the commune pays this person to be your friend, and so that's how I met Nils. Nils was he was a cool guy. He was a chill dude. He had his back then. He had his emo look in terms of hair, and I actually was, well, for the longest time I had long hair actually. So I was a true metalhead. Yeah, I had a pretty long hair. It was uh, about that, yeah, about that length. So it was very, I had a very long hair back then, back in the old days. And I met Niels 2005, I believe. I think so. Yeah, I think it was 2005. And and I had just moved with my family to Gothenburg. Um, but yeah, Niels was because, well, yeah, I have, we've, let's just say we've moved around a lot, as a family, and Yeah, just because my mom wanted to become a nurse, and at one point, and my father wanted to become a pastor, and so yeah, because of that and other things, we moved around a lot as a kid. So yeah, and yeah, but enough of that. So I met Nils, and we started to yeah, we clicked because he liked manga and anime, and I've always been a fan of manga and anime, and so yeah, we hit it off very good, very well, I should say, and we watched anime, and and chilled at his house. He had a VHS of Neon Genesis Evangelion, so so yeah, we watched that show, and after that we started to play music together. There was actually this one time. There was this what do you call it? School graduation. Um, but it was more like a school graduation show, but before the summer weekend. Um, no, spring break. I think it's called spring break. Yeah, and and I was going to do this cover of a Swedish song, and very popular song too. And yeah, so we practiced this together, me and Nils, and he came, and I had I yeah, there was a sort of misunderstanding because I thought that Nils was going to he agreed to play with me, uh, like jam with me, I should say, on this graduation, and he was like, "What? No, I was I'm supposed to play with you? Yeah, yeah." And he was like, "Sure," So he went up and fixed the guitar and everything. We had the guitar with us. I brought the guitar, um, and I played the song, and people were very impressed, actually. So it was very well received. Um, and yeah, that's basically how it started. We After that we started to create songs. We started to um, I started to write songs, and after a while I was looking for a bass player as well. Um, yeah, we were looking for members, and so I met. That's how I met Simon. What would become our bass player, and well, I cannot describe it in a different way. This was a pretty cool thing, actually. It's a cool story. So we were going to this kind of, I think it's called confirmation, which is basically you learn a bunch of stuff from the Bible, because I am a Christian. So yeah, and and you get presents afterwards, and yeah. So I went there, and I was sitting in this queue, and I was looking around, and then I saw this guy, which was Simon, and I was thinking to myself that, oh, that guy has long hair, uh, because he had long hair back then, long black hair, um, black hoodie, and yeah. So I was thinking to myself, well, that's guy gotta be into metal. And well, then I can't describe it in any other way. I heard God tell me that that's your bass player. And short story, I was kind of freaked out, because I had heard about people, hearing God before, but I had never heard his voice before, myself. I've only heard others. And so yeah, I but I was skeptical. I didn't know if he was a bass player. And and it was one time I was and it was basically our first interaction where we were sitting for ourselves, and he was sitting with his MP3. Remember those? Yeah. He was sitting with his red MP3. I was sitting with my silver MP3 and listening to music. And he turned to me and he said, "Hey, you want to switch? Because I'm kind of tired of my songs." So I was like, "Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure." So we switched MP3s, and we listened, until the priest called us. We were waiting for the priest to come to get us so we could begin the lesson. Um, and well, when he was done, he was like, "Oh, thank you. Well, you had a lot of 80s rock, very, very old." It's like, yeah, yeah, I like it. So that's basically how our first interaction went. Um, and well, I thought it was a cool guy, and so I took courage one later on, um, and I opened the door because it was standing uh, outside the church. I opened the door and I was like, "Hey, Simon, so do you play bass?" And to my surprise, it was like, "Yeah, yeah, I play bass." So I was like, "Wow, okay." So I was like, I was beginning to tell him about this band that I was putting together, but he was like skeptical about it. Um, so he was like, "You know what? I'm gonna think about it." Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And so I was waiting for him. I wasn't pushing him or anything. I was just letting him take his time. And then he came to me one day and he said, "You know what? Yeah, I want to be in your band." So we exchanged phone numbers. Um, my mother had paid for the rehearsal hall, and so we went there and we played together. Um, and yeah, that's basically how Ammo Angels was formed. I came up with a name. Um, it stands for Ammunition Angels. I took it from video games, actually. Like Counter Strike or Call of Duty, those things. You can always see that little text that says ammo. so so yeah, that's what it means. And the thought behind the name was actually that, yeah, our lyrics, our songs is the ammunition that we shoot out to um, our listeners. That was actually my fault, and it stuck. So, and we were very happy with that name. So, yeah, and well, what happened next was Niels had this guy, uh, Mikey, and he came and he played drums. So we played drums for a while. Um, and we had another guy, Helge, he was a guitarist, but none of them stuck around. Um, so we actually, this is really interesting. Amo Angels, actually, we had to learn how to play without drums. Because for the longest time, it was me, Nils, and Simon. So we had no drums, we had no rhythm. We just had to go without it, you know. Um, and yeah, but yeah, so we played. We played for a while. We rehearsed songs. I wrote songs, and actually, for when we started in 2006, I believe, I was really getting into writing songs. I was writing songs every day, really. I was very productive back then. Uh, yeah, and so we kept on practicing those songs, and yeah, and we came to this point where Nils was like, you know, we should definitely make a demo. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And so Nils actually filed for money, because you can actually do that. You can file for money if the you know, remember, the Nils was a friend that was dealt to me by the commune. Um, and you can actually, if you're gonna do activity, you can you can actually ask for money from the commune, and if they grant it, you are given money. So we actually filed for money to get to make this record, and so we went, and Niels had his contact. He knew this guy, Martin. He used to live here in Gothenburg, and he used to have, by the docks, he used to have a recording studio. And we went there, and we played. And he was a cool guy too, you know. He was really good at what he was doing. He was a cool guy too. Worked perfectly. Um, and so we made this album, um, and I think we recorded for a few. I think it was maybe 1 week or so, possibly. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. And he was very impressed. You know, he was very impressed by our band and our songs. And for me, it was crazy. You know, it was like I've been dreaming about being a rock rock star. And you know, for me and Simon especially, I mean, we were in our teens. Um, at this time, I think I was 14. I think he was 14 as well. Um, so you can imagine that this was a big thing for all of us, for both of us, uh, to make a record and everything. So we did, and yeah, we finished the recording. And I should mention that I had no technique. Even I had no technique when it came to singing. I had no vocal exercises. I had no warm up. I had zilch. So every time that we were rehearsing, my throat would just be shut after every single rehearsal. My voice would just be completely out. I'd be like, you know, um, I'd be having this whiskey voice, you know. It's like, yeah, cool gig, guys. Because that's, you have to understand, I had no technique, and I was basically just um yeah, I was basically just screaming. That was my singing basically. And yeah. So anyway, and so we recorded this, as I said, we recorded this album, and we got a copy of it. Oh, sorry, I thought I was hearing something. Um, and yeah, so we got a copy, each and one of us, and well, I was proud of it, and I brought it to my dad, and my parents got to listen to it, um, and my parents, that this is the what I appreciate, because with my parents, it's a very good we have a very good relationship, because my parents has always given me, they don't bullshit, really. They don't bullshit when you need their opinion. They're not like, oh yeah, it's very good, honey. It's like, and bullshit, and it's, if it isn't, they tell you as it is. Yeah, to put it simply, they tell you as it is. If it's shit, they tell you it's shit. If it's good, they tell you it's really good. So, yeah. Um, so that's what I appreciate with my parents a lot, actually. So, and so I knew that when they said, they were like, this is really good. This is really good. We like those songs, and yeah, and yeah. So I had we actually had we made a demo with four songs. The first one was "Rock Them Into Heaven," and it was more of a '80s rock anthem, as my dad described it. And it was. We had the whole thing, We had the chorus, we had the electric guitar, we had the synthesizer. Um, yeah, yeah, we had the whole thing. I am a huge fan of the '80s rock scene, um, the hair metal, all of that things, all those things, and so yeah, and we did that song, and we also did a song that I dedicated, called "Good Time," and I dedicated that one to. It was actually written about my my grandma, her passing. We were very close. She died in 2000. Yeah, in the year of 2001, I believe. Which is, so it wasn't shortly after that. It was shortly after that we decided to move. We lived up in north of Sweden at first. Um, and yeah, so it was after that that we. But anyway, so yeah, I wrote this song to her, um, about the thinking about the good time when somebody's died, and yeah, making the best of it, cherishing those memories. Um, and yeah, and so we did that one, and oh yeah, we did. We also did a song called "Created for Nothing," which was the most um, challenging, because I had to. It was very loud, um, in tone, um, so I couldn't. I really had to scream my head off. Um, because it was such a challenging song for me to sing. Yeah. So it was rough to sing. It was a real rough song to sing, actually. But it was a cool song. It was more of a Nirvana kind of smells like Teen Spirit um kind of song. And the message was basically that I was criticizing the evolution theory, because as a Christian I believe in creation, and so yeah, I don't believe in evolution. Um, and yeah, so that's what the song was about. And let's see, what was the last song that we did? Uh, it escapes me now, but I think it was another ballad. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. The last song we did was ballad, called "Let the Couple Meet Again," and this was actually one of the one of our most beloved songs. Actually, a lot of people list this as their favorite song that I've talked to. So, and it's about my grandma, my wish, because she was a Christian. My grandpa is not. And it was basically my wish that he would be a Christian so that he would see his beloved wife again. And that's what it's about, actually. And yeah, but anyway, yeah. So yeah, we play these songs for people. Simon actually told me once that it was very interesting. He told me on one of the rehearsals that back then that we, oh yeah, I should say it was, we completed the album in 2007. So yeah, we completed it in 2007. So this was 2007, I believe. And and he told me this story about how he was when he was, well, this was when he was living back home, after all, he was 14 years old. And he told me this story about um, yeah, told me this story about how he went to he was going to, let me let's see, pardon me. Yeah, he was going to get something late at night, and he happened to walk by his brother, his older brother, and he was like, "Wait, isn't that our band that he's listening to?" And he went to his brother, and sure enough, he was sitting and listening to it. And and Simon was like, "What? You're listening to this?" And his brother was like, "Yeah, it's good." And um, when I heard this story back then, I was living the dream. Really, I definitely was just living the dream. It was yeah, it was pretty amazing, actually. And well, yeah, that's basically how. Yeah, that's basically what happened, I believe. Um, yeah, All right. Well, thank you guys. And if you like this video, um, please subscribe and all that good things. So, and yeah, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.